Hi, I'm Michael, and today I'm vandalizing my Volvo here with this eclectic variety of household items to see if I can fix it. Because f this car. But also, can we restore it? Now for TikTok, we're not gonna have time to get to these, but they will be on the YouTube version if you wanna watch that. What we're gonna do here is take each of these different objects in increasing order of damage potential and apply each to their own unique panel so that by the end of it, we can actually see like what can be restored and what cannot be restored. First up, we have the fidget spinner. Imagine, you got a stupid kid. They come up to your car and, hey dad, look what I've done.
Oh, very nice, son.
This is doing more damage than I thought that it would. Should I try and write my name?
I mean, if you could.
Here, Mike. This feels so bad. Oh, I think that's pretty good. Next up, we have the classic Matchbox car. This is a little Tesla. Next up is pennies. Now I can't really imagine a situation where this would happen, but maybe your ex just doesn't like pennies. Understandable. Maybe you huck pennies at your car. It's like making wishes in a fountain, you know? Ooh, that left a dent.
Throw a whole handful that hard.
Handful? One wish, two wish, three wish, red wish, blue wish. Final big buckshot.
Yeah, just really hard.
Next up, bleach. 2x4 to the hood. Oh. This is awful. Next up is sandpaper. We're gonna do 4 different lines of these 4 different grits, starting off with 80, 120, 220, 600. And the final test is the brick on the roof. I'm just gonna lightly drag this all the way across one line and we'll see what we can get. Oh, that's hateful, okay. No, I'll do it, Oh my God.
Oh, buddy. That's
do we need?
Pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. Okay, I think we're good. This car's taking enough beating.
Yeah, keep in mind future plans too, you know?
Yeah. The first step to restoring this car to showroom quality is a good wash, both so we have a clean surface for the next step and also so that we can accurately see how much I fucked up. And a good wash is one that removes the dirt while not causing additional swirl scratches to the paint. First, I power washed the loose dirt, then I applied a pre-washed soap using a foam gun. Think soaking your dishes to loosen grime. We lightly agitated that foam, rinsed it off. We're now on to the main wash. After this comes the clay bar. I'm pretty excited to see where it's at. Like the beater bars that come down. Rinse that off and then ran a clay bar over the paint to collect anything that was still impacted into the clear coat because it's imperative that you have a totally clean surface in preparation for the next step.
Gross.
Bring her in. We're now ready for what's called paint correction. Now, unlike repainting a panel, paint correction is essentially removing the top layer of clear coat and any damage that might lie in it. Problem is, paint is only so thick, so the hope is that our Hot Wheels Tokyo Drift marks only reside in that top layer, else I might have to go find a therapist. Just kidding, I already should go find a therapist. Before I do anything though, I'm wiping this panel down with isopropyl alcohol just in case any dust settled on it or if there's any greases that we didn't quite remove. Yeah, and we still got a little bit of stuff on it, so this was a good step to do. Let's see if this does it. Here you can see before shots of the fidget spinner damage. After one pass, about 2 minutes of a correcting compound, you can see a dramatic difference. We did a second pass for good measure and then a final pass with a finer compound for a greater shine. Final result, really great. The fidget spinner only caused very surface level marring. It all came out. While there's still some scratches from before this video remaining, it looks in person about 90% better. Next to the Matchbox Tesla, you can see it left a decent amount of scratching, especially on the bottom section of the panel. After a pass of both compounds though, it once again all came out. There weren't many scratches here before because I repainted this as part of this video, but it's still a big improvement. We use this random orbital polisher, these 2 compounds, and these pads Others would work, but I found that these work really well. The pennies to the front door left a lot of small dents and chips in the paint all the way down to bare metal. After both compounds, it still looked much shinier, but those dents and chips remained. I filled them with black touch-up paint for my BMW. It really didn't work perfectly. From certain angles, you can still see all of the marks, but for most angles, you really wouldn't notice. The dents we're gonna save for another day. Moral of the story here, just don't get pennies thrown at your car. You know, be a good enough person that people don't feel the need to do that. Because really the only way I'm gonna be able to totally fix that from a DIY standpoint is to fully repaint the panel. The bleach, as it turns out, didn't really do anything. That's not to say the difference between the before and after wasn't dramatic. You can see that it very much was. Now you might be wondering how much paint I'm taking off doing this, and I forgot to take the measurement. I have a device to do this, but from my BMW doing this to that, it was about 1 to 2% of the total thickness of the paint, which, you know, not something that you would do every day, but it's not gonna kill the car by any means. Now we're into the really big damage areas. The hood was really bad both before our testing and especially afterwards. We were very curious how much this could possibly come out, so we taped off 3 sections, one that would just get the coarser compound, one that would get both, and finally the left side getting nothing. Yeah, what you're seeing in the camera, it looks even crazier in real life. The scratches are still there in certain lighting, but they are about 60% less visible and more akin to some light tree branch scratching than, you know, dragging a 2x4 down the hood. So I applied a ceramic coat to half of the hood, and I don't know if you can tell, but it is a dramatically deeper black on this side versus that side, and a lot of the scratches that are like very visible are hardly visible, or much less so on this side, so that's really cool. After this step, I went in to start putting some footage together, and Ian started tackling the panels that we didn't actually touch in this video. When I came out, he decided to film my reaction to seeing it. Whoa, holy sh**.
Yeah, a little bit better, huh? I think. Doesn't feel like sandpaper anymore.
Oh, so you did this back here too?
I did the gas cap area and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's, someone like really shittily touched that up.
Really bad. Like terrible.
Interesting.
Bad.
There's some Bondo behind that.
Yeah, it's kind of questionable, I would say.
Oh my god.
Because...
Holy shit.
It, like,
the way that
now.
looked before versus now?
Yeah.
Wow. No, this was like...
Disgusting.
Yeah, gross. It was the grossest part of the car, actually. That brings us to our 2 final bosses, the sandpaper and the brick. Starting with the sandpaper, none of these lines came out. They just got less pronounced. We think this would be fixable with sanding involved, but we're not gonna get into that today. For now, it just looks better, and this panel is probably the worst on the car so far. And finally, the roof. Surprisingly, this cleaned up better than the fender did. The brick line hasn't disappeared, but it's really not bad, and certainly doesn't look like it came from this. So actually, I'm most impressed with how the brick came out than anything else in the car. Certainly doesn't look like you dragged a brick, more like a tree branch, you know, dragged across the top. While we were at it, we decided to ceramic coat the entire car, which should add another layer of protection, and in many cases actually makes a big difference in filling in scratches. The paint was already prepared and clean, and that's like 90% of a ceramic coating job, so the extra 10% just made sense. We're using Avalon King's Armor Shield 9. I found it works really well. I've had it on my personal car for about 2 years, but I also don't have experience with other ceramic coatings, so definitely take my word with a grain of salt. Now, I bought this last Cyber Monday in bulk, so it was about $35 a bottle, and we used 1 bottle on the car, including windows. We also attempted to pull some dents, but the ceramic coating made the paint too slick for the hot glue to stick to, so that's just an example of me being stupid and doing things in the wrong order. While we were washing, I accidentally ripped off the upper windshield seal, so I just decided to RTV it instead of buying a new one. And voila! This car looks spectacular. Oh my god. Dude, this car looks better than fixed. So on the fender, you can still see the sandpaper marks, but they're so much less noticeable than they were before. It honestly just kind of looks like some rain streaking. This car is dramatically better. Like, I'm really happy. This car before looked like a car that you had to own, and now this is a car that I want to own, and that's like saying something. It's pretty great. Yeah, very, very happy with how this turned out. Hope you had fun and learned something, and I'll see you next week for an especially dumb episode of this channel. Thanks for watching. It means a ton.